Hello everyone, this side Dipanshikar from eCorners, and today we are going to learn about expansionary monetary policy. So, expansionary monetary policy is the increase in the nominal money supply by the central government through open market operations. Now, to look its effect in both short run and medium run, we must be familiar with few concepts, which are as follows. First, wage setting relationship, which establishes the relationship between the nominal wages, expected price level, unemployment rate, and Z, which is also called a catch-all variable. So, according to this relationship, there is a direct relationship between expected price levels and nominal wage rate, which means that if we if the price wage setters expect the expected price to increase, so they will set a higher nominal wages. Now, there is a negative relationship between unemployment rate and wages. This is as follows. If we increase our unemployment rate, for the same job, there are more number of people available, which means lesser bargaining power. So the nominal wages will be lesser. And Z, which is also called a catch-all variable, captures the effect of schemes such as social security services, which is positively related to nominal wages. Second concept we must be aware about is the price setting relationship, which establishes a relationship between the price set by the firm and wages, which is the cost for producing. Now, here, mu is also called the markup, which is the markup over the cost, since W is the cost of producing output and mu is the markup, which means that the firm will charge mu more than the more to people. Now, if we look at aggregate supply relationship, it is nothing but if we substitute wage setting relation in the price setting relationship, we will get a expression similar to aggregate supply, but we will see that the aggregate supply relationship talks the relationship with output. But if we substitute the price setting relation and wage setting relationship, it will give us an relationship between the price level and unemployment. So here we have to make a substitution. For that substitution, we will say that unemployment rate is equal to unemployment by labor force, where labor force can be also written as unemployment is can also be written as labor force minus employment rate. So from this substitution, we can substitute the unemployment rate. We can substitute unemployment rate as this in our relationship to get the aggregate supply relationship. Here we have assumed two main things. First of all, we have assumed that labor force is held constant. Second, we have assumed that output is equal to employment, which means that as employment increase, our output will also increase by the same amount. Say, for example, if our employment increase by 1, our output will also increase by 1. Now, let's look at some facts about aggregate supply relationship. First, aggregate supply curve is upward sloping. So, which means that there is a positive relation between output and price levels. We derive it from here, like if we increase the output, it will lead to increase in N, which is the employment rate. As we can see from the from here, that if we increase Y, our employment rate N will also increase. And given increase in N, it will lead to decrease in U, given the labor force remains constant. And from the wage setting relation, we get that if there is a decrease in unemployment, it will lead to increase in wages. And from the price setting relationship, we get that if increase in wages will lead to increase in the price levels. So from here, we derive that there is a positive relation, which is shown that AS curve is upward sloping at a particular price expectation. So one thing to be noted here is that at any point, if price is equal to expected price level, then our output is equal to the natural level. If our actual price levels are more than the natural level, then our output will also be more than the natural level. So in case of monetary expansion, we have this relationship from AD. Increase in nominal money supply will lead to shift in aggregate demand at a particular price level, which will which is shown in the diagram by a parallel shift in aggregate demand. Since there is an in short run, price expectation is held constant because people cannot react quickly to the changes in price levels. So our new equilibrium will be at point E dash, given that expectations are held constant. And so in short run, our output can be more than natural level, can be less than natural level. It is a matter of fact that over the time, people will form new expectations such that their actual price will be equal to the new expectations. So that we will talk about in medium run. So in short run, our output can be more than the natural level and price can also be more than the expected level. So now let's move to the medium run to see what happens when people are allowed to change their expectations. Now, if people are allowed to change their expectation, before allowing that, let's come back, start from the scratch and see what happens. Like first, uh, we assume that economy was at equilibrium at point E where AD and AS intersect and price was equal to expected price level. So output was equal to the natural level. With increase in the nominal money supply, our aggregate demand curve shifts from AD to AD dash with equilibrium at E dash because expectations was not allowed to change as people are bound to contracts, so they do not respond quickly to the changes in the price level. So our expected price level was at point P equal to P dash, where expected price level is this level and actual price level is P dash. So expected price levels are less than the actual price level. So our output is more than the natural level. But now, if people are allowed to change their expectation, if people change their expectation, increase in price expectation will lead to increase in the nominal wages. They will ask for more nominal wages. And with increase in nominal wages, it will increase the cost for the firm. And if the cost for the firm goes up, they will start charging more. So if we see from the AS relation, increase in price expectation will shift the AS curve upward. So if we draw in the diagram, it will shift the AS curve upward. And this process will keep on continuing until the price levels is equal to the expected price level. So in here we see that at point P double dash equal to P E dash, this is the price, a new expectation of price where actual price level and expected price level are equal. And since actual and expected price levels are equal, we return back to our natural level of output. So if we allow people to change their expectation, it will lead to shift in AS to upwards. So it must be noted that if we increase our price expectation, our price is tend to increase because it will lead to increase in the cost for the firm for producing the output. Now, let's move to the ISLM model and see what happens in short run and medium run. In ISLM model, we first have the ISLM model where economy is at equilibrium at point E, interest rate I, and output is equal to the natural level. Now, with increase in nominal money supply, our our LM curve will shift to LM dash for a particular price level. Like if we assume that price level remains same in the economy, our LM curve will move to LM dash P. But as we know from the diagram that our price levels in the economy has also increased. Like our price level has also increased from P to P dash. So our LM curve have a dampening effect, which means that the increase in the real money balance will fall due to increase in price. So this blue arrow demarks the fall in the real money balance. So our final effective LM curve will be at LM dash P dash at a price P dash. So here the economy will be at a short run equilibrium at point E dash with interest rate I and output equal to Y dash. As we have seen that output can vary in short run. So our output has been a Y dash, which is more than the natural level, while the interest rate has been lower than the original interest rate. But now see what happens if people allow to change their expectation. As we have talked earlier, if people change their expectation, it will further lead to increase in the price in the economy. And as the price in the economy increases, our real money balances will fall, which will lead to further leftward shift in LM curve. And these leftward shift will continue to take place until our new LM curve coincides with the original LM curve, which means the real money balance remains same. Increase in price level are proportional to the increase in the nominal money supply. So we see that our economy come back to the original point where interest rate is equal to I and output is equal to Yn. So let's sum up all these facts in short run and medium run and see what we got the conclusion. In short run, we concluded that if increase in money supply is accompanied by increase in the output, increase in price level, while a decline in interest rate. Whereas in medium run, our output remains constant, interest rate remains constant, while only the price level in the economy increases. Many economists say it as neutrality of money, which means that in medium run, change in money supply will not have any effect on the real variables, that is output and interest rate. It only affects the price levels or the inflation in the economy. This is called neutrality of money. I hope you have understood the expansionary monetary policy. For further doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.